Kankan. First and foremost, I give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God Yahweh, Bashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai. Today, we are doing a quick lesson over John chapter 3, verse 16. We're going to really see what John chapter 3, verse 16 actually means, right? So I got this presentation for y'all. So let's get right into it. John chapter 3, verse 16, a look into it. Let's read it. This is John chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. All right. So, are we cut, right? So you see, I got this little panic, little funny little pictures, because Christians use this as this is a Christian's like number one go-to to prove our doctrine wrong, right? So does John 3:16 really cut the Hebrew Israelites? Let's look into it, right? Let's start with the context of this chapter, right? This is John chapter 3, verse 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews, right? Let's keep going. The same came by Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with him. So the context of John 3:16 is two men talking to each other, right? Christ and Nicodemus, which are both Jews, right? As you see this is a conversation between two Jews. Remember this as we jump to verse 15. So you have to remember that this is a conversation between two Jews, right? John chapter 3, verse 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. So the Son of Man has to be lifted up like the serpent was lifted up in the wilderness, right? As the serpent in the wilderness was lifted up, is how the Son of Man will also be lifted up, right? So who was the serpent in the wilderness lifted up for? The key is that the serpent was raised up for the Israelites, right? So the Son of Man was also lifted up for the Israelites, not everyone in the world. Now let's actually go read the account. So this is Numbers chapter 21, verse 5. It says, and as the people spake against God and against Moses, wherefore ye have brought us out of Egypt to die in the wilderness, for there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our souls loatheth this light bread. And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, make a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole. And it come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it on a pole. And it came to pass that if the serpent had bit any man, then he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Israel set forth and pitched to Oboth. So as you see here, this is clearly the serpent, the fiery serpent was lifted up for Israel. It was lifted up for Israel. It wasn't lifted up for the Moabites. It wasn't lifted up for the Amorites. It was lifted up for the children of Israel, right? Let's continue. The children of Israel were saved by looking at the fiery serpent. It was raised up for them just as the Son of Man was raised up only for the children of Israel, right? Pardon me. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's continue. It says, Christ makes this clear out of his own mouth, he tells us who he came for. This is Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And out of his own mouth, Christ said that he did not come for everyone. He came from the house, for the house of Israel, right? So you got to look at it. You got to look at the Bible for what it is and not what you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? We cannot twist scriptures for any man. We have to read it how it actually says it. Now that we have a better understanding of John chapter 3, let's break down verse 16. John chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Now, Christians will look at this and said, well, it says the world, and world must mean everybody, right? Every time you see the word world, it must be talking about everyone, right? That's not the case, right? So it says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Let's see where else we see that world. This is John chapter 17, verse 9. It says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. So when you got this is red letters. So this is Christ saying he prays not for the world, right? So it almost seems like there's a conflict, right? Let's read the next verse. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So now we got a problem, right? You got one scripture where it says, God so loved the world. And then you got another scripture where it says, love not the world, right? The context is there are different worlds. Like, think of it like this. There's a world of basketball, a world of baseball, a sea world. There are different worlds, right? So when you actually see the context, it's talking about the world of Israel. And we'll get to prove that. This is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So the world that's talking about in John 3, chapter 3, verse 16 is the world of Israel, not for everyone. Again, Christ said in his own mouth that he does not come for everyone. He comes for the world of Israel, the children of Israel. Let's keep going. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2. This is proving that there's multiple worlds. Hath in these last days spoken by us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. So there are multiple worlds. So now let's read John 3:16 in plainer terms. For God so loved the world of Israel that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish. Now, a second thing a Christian will say is, well, look at this word, whosoever. Whosoever, just how they explained it before, they think this means everyone, right? Now, this is to break down whosoever. This is Acts chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever, same language, shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. So Christians will read this and be like, you see, everyone can be saved, right? Let's read the next verse. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. So this is a key thing of understanding the Bible. You got to know the context of what it's implying, right? So this is not talking about everyone. This is talking about ye men of Israel, hear these words, right? Like, imagine if I had pizza in my house, right? And I said, whosoever, I'm talking to my family, whosoever wants pizza, go get it. Am I talking about the next door neighbors? Am I talking about somebody in Canada? No, it's a context of what I'm saying these words in. I'm talking about my people. That's who I'm talking about that I can share the pizza with, right? Let's keep reading. So let's read it. For God so loved the world of Israel that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. This is talking to the Israelites. This is not talking to everybody, right? You can't use this chapter to feed all the people, that all people can be saved doctrine, right? You can't use John 3:16 to say that all men can be saved or all men can have equal salvation. You can't do that, bro. So try to make it short, simple, and sweet. So with that, this is John chapter 3:16, understanding. All praises to the Most High. And with that, I just would give a mighty shalom, and we give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. Shalom, shalom.